Hello, it's Wednesday the 9th of January 2013. Welcome to today's United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon, and I'm sorry, we are surrounded by dirty bastards. We are surrounded by dirty bastards. I saw this story in the Daily Mail on Monday, and it says a fifth. This is terrible, dear. Oh, just a minute. I've just noticed I haven't put up my Barry Manilow calendar yet. God's sake. Imagine spending all that money. This has cost about 30 quid, this calendar. 30 quid here. By the time I pay for the calendar and the shipping from the States, this wonderful Barry Manilow calendar, we must immediately put that up at some point. Or when I finish, maybe. There we are. Lovely picture of Barry Manilow in a red, what do you call that? A smoking jacket. A smoking jacket, I think. And the January calendar, which I must fill in with my important activities that I shall miss if I don't write them down, dear. Oh, it's all very well for you using your Google calendars and your little things on your iPads. I have a friend, actually, who is a mobile DJ, same as myself, who lost a booking, okay, because he kept it on his iPad, and he has now learned to buy a paper diary. Look at that. It doesn't delete things. They rarely get wet. They very rarely get lost. It's all written in here, my bookings. We don't lose these things. My advice is never, ever rely on an electronic gadget to store those important dates, my darlings. Do you know what I mean? I think that's why I haven't been out with anyone recently. I'm sure I've made dates and that with people, and they've put them on their electronic gadgets. And somehow it's been deleted. I seem to have been deleted from a lot of people recently. Have you? I don't know why that is. Anyway, dirty bastards we're talking about. In the Mail on Monday, a fifth of in the Daily Mail on Monday, a fifth of us don't change our bed sheets even once a month. You dirty bastards. Is it you? Are you one of them? Come on, for God's sake, change those sheets. How disgusting. 40% of it, and it goes on, 40% of us change our bed linen every week. Hello? That's me. Once a week. Okay? Once a week. Thank you. So clean. I'm feeling quite clean today. I've just come from the swimming pool. I had my lunch, and here I am. Come upstairs to talk to you for half an hour. 36% of people do it fortnightly, and get this, 1% of people, are you one? Come on, be honest, are you one of these? 1% of these dirty bastards change their sheets once a year. Oh my God, that is disgusting. They must stink. Dirty people. Dirty people. 1% of people surveyed change their bed linen once a year. I think that's terrible. And it says that dirty sheets attract dust mites, which trigger allergies such as asthma, eczema. What's it called? Eczema? I can't remember. How do you say that now? Do you know that skin condition? It's eczema. Oh, I haven't got my phone here. I could have rung my sister. She would know all about that. And rhinitis. I don't know what that is. What is that? Just a moment. Let me look that up. Rhinitis is eczema. Emphysema. Emphysema. That's a lung condition, isn't it? Yeah, because I had a lovely friend, old lady she was. She died of that, actually. Rhinitis. What is it? Is it a medical term for irritation and inflammation of the mucous membrane inside the nose. Well, I do sneeze a lot. Do you think that's what it is? Maybe I need to change my sheets even more than sometimes once every 2 weeks, but certainly not once a year. My best mate, he's got that. It's not a disease. It's you know where he's constantly cleaning. Oh, it's terrible. He changes his sheets every other day. It's a bit much. The washing machine, remember, he's a bloke on his own. He's got another half as well. But generally, he's on his own. The washing machine goes on 2 or 3 times a day. And if he puts a white item in, and it doesn't come out white, he puts it back in again. So wasteful. Anyway, and it goes on to say this: 6% of household people strip the sheets more than once a week. So that would be my mate. While 1% of people admitted they would change just once a year. I just think dirty people. Apparently, the women are worse than the ladies. Women were revealed to be the more lax of the two sexes when it came to bedroom hygiene. More than half do not clean their sheets weekly, with 12% changing their sheets once a month and 1% admitting to never changing them at all. 40% of men, on the other hand, managed a weekly change, and a further 8% did it even more frequently than that. But it is apparently quite bad for you because of all these dust mites and nasty little creatures that live in your bed. I don't suppose we can get rid of them completely, can we? I mean, of course, I share my bed now with a cat. And strangely enough, the asthma has not been a problem at all now for months, and I don't know this. I don't know why this is. I always thought it was the cat that was given the problem. I'm certainly alert. If I stroke the cat and then rub my eyes, then it comes up pretty bad. But more recently, it hasn't been doing that, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Anyway, by the way, the cat is doing very well indeed. She's now reduced her pills from 3 a day to 1 a day. They're calcium tablets, and they will be withdrawn actually by the next show. So in, let me think, in 3 days' time, she won't be taking any pills anymore, and we'll just see how that goes. All right. Now, any emails that you've sent in that I have missed out after this show, okay, please let me know. I'm pretty sure I've got the last little lot of emails here from over Christmas. I've even got one here. I have a feeling that I might have read 1 or 2 of these out already, but I'll read them again because I certainly don't like to miss out people's emails after they've been good enough to send them in, okay? So I'm going to read those now. First of all, and if by the end of the show your email that you've sent in recently has not yet been read out, please let me know, okay? Thank you very much to Suko, who sent me in a little photograph, like as a Christmas card, of her daughter dancing. I can't remember, Suko. I'm not sure that you like your daughter shown on the show, so I won't show the postcard, but thank you very much for this, Suko. It's very nice to get a card from you. I'm actually meeting up with Suko next month when I'm going to New York. For a sort of little holiday when I go and see the wonderful Barry Manilow. Looks like we made it. Oh, and I'm going on my birthday night. I do hope perhaps Suko or someone in New York, perhaps you could write to Barry and mention to him that it's my birthday. Maybe he will pull me up on the stage and I can shake his hand. Or perhaps, pop back to his house and watch a bit of television with him. What he does after a show. What does Barry Manilow do after the show? He doesn't seem the sort, because some entertainers, they like to stay behind and they have a drink and they get a little bit drunk and whatever, don't they? I don't think, I think Barry does his show, he finishes, he comes off stage, jumps in the car and goes home. That's what I reckon. What do you think? Perhaps you know. Could you write to Barry, though, and tell him that I'm going to be there on the 5th of February at St James's Theatre for my 50th birthday? I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, Marge writes, and Marge actually sent this in on Boxing Day. I think my life is going rough, then I log on and having to deal with your cat recovering from surgery, and now your leg. Incidentally, my leg is much, much better now, thank you, Marge. It's almost back to normal. In fact, I was supposed to go to the hospital today for a, what do they call it, it's written down here, for an adult review. I was supposed to have an adult review today, but I cancelled it yesterday because it was very early in the morning and I don't get to bed till late on Mondays. I would have had like 3 hours sleep and then up again. So I've rescheduled it for Wednesday the 23rd of January at 9 o'clock in the morning. But that's a Wednesday, so I get to bed early usually on a Tuesday. That's a Wednesday. But I have a feeling by then it will be completely healed and I can just they told me if there's nothing wrong, just cancel the appointment, which I will do, It's very important, I think, when you have appointments with hospitals and doctors and what have you, if you're not going to make it or you feel better, don't just not turn up. That's just bloody rude, that is. And someone else could have that appointment, you see. Certainly here in the UK, they always seem to be struggling to get people's appointments when they want them. So if you do have an appointment and you can't make it, or you've recovered, or for whatever reason you can't make the appointment, then ring them. Just ring them and let them know. They can give the appointment to someone else, and it saves wasting a lot of time. So yes, my leg is much better. Marge, not quite 100%, but I would say 92% okay now. She says, life does seem to be a roller coaster ride sometimes, doesn't it? It certainly did. We've had snow here at Christmas, as I said on my Facebook page. And like I've said in one of your older videos, see, that proves I'm watching them. You stated, I hate snow. Yes, I do. I hate snow. I hate snow and ice. I hate cold. I don't mind rain so much, but I absolutely hate the cold. I mean, I really do. I really do. She says, well, I don't really hate it to see it outside, but it's a bit of a challenge when you have to go to work in it or feed animals. Yes, I think it is. My mother bought some spikes for my shoes that you can just strap over them and able to walk in ice or snow. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. They come in quite handy. Christmas, I'm happy to say, is over, with my family being such pains in the rear when they get together, but I made it through. It reminds you of Barry Manilow's song. I made it through the rain and kept myself protected. I made it through the rain and made my point of view. I won't go on, dear. I'm in good voice today, aren't I? Do you think I'm in good voice? What I really enjoyed was when I logged on and you had made that small 1-minute video. Yes, this was the one I made on Christmas Eve, of course. When Katie, the cat, came home from cat hospital. And I thought, well, the next show wasn't due for a week. And I thought, the show I'd done before that was the one where I told you that I was taking Katie to the vet. And I didn't think she was going to come home because she was very ill and that. And then Christmas Eve... that was on the Friday. Then she went to cat hospital. Then Saturday I visited her. Sunday I visited her. Monday, Christmas Eve, they rang me and said, take her home and see how she does. And she recovered. And I couldn't leave you. I really couldn't leave you hanging that long, wondering how the cat was. So yes, indeed, I did do that 2-minute video. Those of you that saw it, of just telling you that Katie was back. A little picture of her as well. Incidentally, if you've been wondering, because she used to make quite a lot of appearances here on the show, Katie, since she's had that operation, just seemed to be spending a lot of her time sleeping now, acting perhaps more like an old cat should, because she is 14. And I know a lot of old cats, or I've known a lot of old cats, people with old cats and whatever, and after a certain age they do seem to sleep an awful lot. And Katie is now doing that. A lot of the time with me, I'm pleased to say. Yes. She actually woke me up this morning at 7 o'clock. She was hungry. she wakes up, she jumps down. Sometimes I hear her, sometimes I sleep through it. But she jumps down onto the floor, which makes a little like that, just like, and I hear these footsteps go downstairs, and then she comes back up and starts meowing because there's no food left, and I have to go down and feed her. Oh, we love cats. Marge says, at first, when I saw your 1-minute video or whatever, my heart dropped because you kind of looked sad. I thought maybe you were about to say Katie didn't make it. But in my heart, after watching the video of her eating that stick and her eyes so bright, I felt otherwise. I had to grab my box of tissues and wipe away the tears on that video. Yes, the ups and downs of life is what life is about, I guess. I figure that if you don't get really dirty, you never really truly enjoy that bath later on. Yeah, I mean, it's true, isn't it? I was so happy when I brought her home. I really was. Marge says that there's a superstition that my mother always told me as I grew up, that whatever happens on New Year's Day, the rest of the year will be like that, good or bad. So let's hope you have a great New Year's Day. Now, what did I do New Year's Day? Well, I didn't work New Year's Day. And what did I do? It was actually a fairly quiet day. I went swimming in the morning. Yeah, it was okay New Year's Day actually, yes. We eat black-eyed peas on New Year's Day. You can Google online the origins of that tradition. Obviously, tradition where you are, okay. She says, well, thanks for adding me on Twitter and enjoying being your follower, one of the millions and millions of your fans. Oh, don't take the piss, Marge. There are no millions of fans, my darling. We're lucky to have a handful of people sitting in their living rooms listening or watching to this old rubbish. Happy New Year. Lots of love from Marge. Thank you, Marge. Yes, boys and girls, if you didn't know already, I have rejoined Twitter. My Twitter is Chris Reardon UK. Okay, ChrisReardon UK. Chris Reardon UK. All right. One thing, do you know, have you noticed, I've noticed as I'm getting older, we're getting hairs coming out the ears and the nose. When I pull a hair out of my nose, I go into a terrible sneezing fit. Does that happen to you? Is it only me? Why is it I break into a terrible sneezing fit whenever I pull a hair out of my nose? How awful. Isn't it awful? It's all very well me sitting here singing Barry Manilow. I also really like that Ollie Murs tune that was recently in the charts, Troublemaker. You know the one? Why does it feel so good but hurt so bad? Oh, my mind is saying run as fast as you can. I say I'm done but then you pull me back. Whoa, I swear you're giving me a heart attack. Troublemaker. You know the one? I love that. I've learned the chorus. I can't believe I've learned the chorus. I wonder how people learn the words to songs. I actually know very few. Is it just a simple case of keep playing it back and back and back all the time? I'd love to learn whole songs. I think even the Manilow ones, I mean, I need like the first couple of words and then the rest drops into, but I can't learn songs. And actors, how do you learn lines like that? I remember many years ago being in a Scout gang show, and whenever I was in some of the sketch of that, you'd have to learn these lines, and I was terrible at it. I just couldn't learn these lines. Anyone else? How do you learn lines? Have we got any actors or singers watching the show today or listening to the show? How do you learn the lines to songs or acting or plays and things like that? Please let me know. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, or you can of course Twitter me now at Chris Reardon UK, Hello to David, Cat and little Charlie on the Isle of Wight, the Islay Widget, as it's known in some circles, Islay Widget or Isle of Wight. Islay, do you get it? Isle, I-S-L-E, Islay, and Widget, W-I-G-H-T, White, Islay Widget. Yes. Happy New Year, Chris and Katie, from David, Cat and little Charlie. Just thought we'd let you know that we are still watching and listening to United Kingdom Talk. We are glad that Katie is now okay. I think she's almost out of the woods. I won't be happy, actually, until I've stopped the tablets and a few days have passed and she's still okay. That's when I'll be happy. It's always a bit worrying. Stop the tablets. Oh, what's going to happen now? Do you know what I mean? Will it be okay? Will it not be okay? So I'll be happy sort of a week after I've stopped the tablets. On the Isle of Wight, we've had some bad weather, which landslips and some of the coastal paths and seawalls breaking up, so the local council have got to do work when the bad weather has passed. Yes, there's been a lot of rain here in the UK recently. So for the ferry services, it seems like prices are going up again and some sailings are being cut. Oh well, seems like it's happening everywhere these days. Yes, the train fares have... Oh, it's just a joke, isn't it? It really is a joke. The train, the whole cost of living is getting very, very expensive. Certainly my money hasn't gone. My money hasn't gone up anywhere in the last 8 years. That is true. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm on a good wage. I get good money for what I do. But it hasn't gone up for 8 years anywhere. And all this time, all your bills are going up. The gas has gone up. Electric's gone up. Diesel for my car has gone up astronomically. Car prices are dearer. Everything is dearer, but my money is the same. I know I'm not the only one. There's plenty more people. I know managers as a manager in one of the places, 2 managers in some of the places I work, where their money has been cut by 10%. So things are not good. But it does seem to me that people at the top don't ever suffer. Have you noticed that? I'm going to get very pissed off when I see large companies on the television, like British Gas or something like that, announcing their record profits as if that's something to be proud of. Because I don't think it is something to be proud of. I think you've got a bloody cheek to come on the telly after raising your prices time and time and time again and telling us how much profit you've made. Are you not embarrassed by that? Why is that a good thing to know that people are suffering and you've made a lot of profit? Why is that a good thing? I just don't get it. Do you? Back to the email then. Just before Christmas, we changed our internet provider and phoned from AOL UK to TalkTalk. Oh my God, you haven't gone to TalkTalk, are you? Are you off your heads? Have you ever read the reviews that TalkTalk gets? And funnily enough, I've got a letter from them today. Is it in here? 1 minute. No, it's not in here now. I had a letter from them today, TalkTalk, telling me about their wonderful deals. I wouldn't touch them with a bloody barge pole. You must be off your heads if you go with TalkTalk. Have a look on the internet and read the reviews. Time and time again, they come bottom of the pile for customer services. If it come to, I couldn't have a phone unless it was TalkTalk, I wouldn't have a phone. Put it that way. There's a few companies I'm a bit like that with. 3, you know the network 3? There's another company. Wouldn't touch them with a barge pole. I had terrible service from them about 12, 13 years ago. Oh, I know what you're saying now. Oh, they might have improved by then. Not my problem, mate. No, you mucked up. You mucked up years ago and you pissed me off. I'm never going with you again. No way would I go with the telephone network 3. And I've never been with TalkTalk, and I wouldn't go with them because even some of my friends have had terrible experiences of them when the phone goes wrong and they just spend ages getting the bloody thing fixed. I just wouldn't do it. And if you've got to TalkTalk, I'm wondering where this email's going now. Look at this. Just before Christmas, we changed from my internet provider from AOL UK to TalkTalk and had problems with them. So we were within our time period, so we changed again to BT and we've had no problems with them. They're great. See? TalkTalk. See, you had problems as well. It's not just me. There's certain companies that I read stuff now on the internet. Before I buy something or go with a provider of whatever, I will read articles on the internet first to see what their customer services is like. If it's crap, then I don't go with them. They don't get my money. No. Hit them in. That's the only way to deal with these people. It's a waste of time. Waste of time picking up the phone and complaining. They don't bloody listen. No one's interested. All they want is your money. They're not interested in anything else. Customer services. This is why John Lewis are doing so well. Okay, and I've mentioned this many, many times before. They are doing horrifically well profit-wise because they have very, very, very good customer services. They really do. Fantastic customer services at John Lewis. And, strangely enough, they're doing very well. Must be something in there. Little Charlie, that's their baby, has got lots of presents on Christmas Day. Oh, you haven't told me what he got. Come on, tell us what he got for Christmas. We like toys. We like children's toys, we do. Little Charlie got loads of presents and he was a very happy little boy. He starts preschool now and he enjoys it so much that at the end of his session he doesn't want to go home. Well, that's a good thing. Good thing. Please try and read this email on one of your shows. We're here for you as always, Chris, from David, Cat and Little Charlie on the Garden Isle of Wight. Lovely to hear from you. So long since I heard from you. Oh, I remember you, David, Cat and Charlie. They were always there for the live shows because we used to do this show live, but it was just fraught with technical problems all the time that I gave up in the end, you know. 2 more emails then, and I may well have read one or both of these out, but I think it's much more important that you make sure I've read this out. And once I've read these 2, there are no more emails waiting to read out. So, if after reading these 2 emails, I still haven't read an email out that you've sent in, please let me know and send it again and I'll do it, because it's been a little bit of a madhouse over the whole Christmas period, as you know, with the cat and everything. Hello to Angela. And Angela writes, "Hi Chris, although I've listened to you for a long time, I've never written before." Well, it's nice of you to write in now, Angela. Just wanted to drop you a short note telling you that myself and my family are all praying for Katie, who is, well, as you all know, much better now. I have both cats and dogs, and I don't care what anyone says, you can get very attached to them and worry about them like a friend or family member. Yeah, they are family members, aren't they? And my Katie is my little baby. Although she's an old girl, she's older than me, Katie, now. Please do not feel guilty about the decision you made about the operation, because, you know, I decided to have the operation and then she became ill afterwards, as you discussed on your show. As anyone can tell if they listen to you for any amount of time, you are a good person with a great heart, and I believe no matter if she got the operation or not, if it was her time, it was her time no matter what you would do. I do think, actually, I've read this out, haven't I, Angela? I'm sure I have. No one can know what will happen, but please know that my prayers are with you both and the beautiful Katie. Well, they certainly helped. They certainly helped Angela, because she came out of the wars, didn't she? I'm sick with flu tonight. Oh no, a tissue! Oh, you poor thing. Do you not have the flu injection, Angela? I had the flu injection. Mind you, I had the flu injection every year, and last year I got it. I ended up going to hospital in the end. I went into casualty and they shoved this, oh, it was vile, this long cotton wool bud that goes right up your nose there. Makes you sneeze like that. It does. And I had influenza A, I think it was. And they said, oh, you should have had the flu injection. I said, well, I did. I'm sick with flu tonight, but when I feel better, I will write more about my corner of the world and what goes on there. Yeah, I don't know where you are, Angela. Where are you, my dear? No indication of where you are. It's just a Hotmail address. And she says, thanks for getting me hooked on Merlin. Is that a fantastic show or what? Yes, it was the best show the BBC have ever put out. On the same level as fantastic show as something like Dad's Army. Well, it wasn't a comedy show, but Dad's Army and Colditz. Do you remember Colditz? Anyone remember Colditz and that haunting tune? Da 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 da. Do you remember that? Oh. Please yourselves. Thank you, Angela. One email here from Robert. I was concerned that I hadn't read this out as well. I did send Robert a little email asking him if I'd read this out. He hasn't. Let me see if he's replied to it. No, he hasn't replied to this yet. So, let me see. Sorry, I've got the noises coming out of my mouth again, haven't I? No, it's not there yet, so I'll read it again. It was about the geothermal heat systems that I asked him about. And Robert writes, Dear Chris, you asked me how our geothermal heating system worked here in Iceland. And was it similar to the system you had been considering? No, not really. I think we need a little geology lesson for today's show, if that's okay with you and the listeners. Iceland is a young, well, where compared to geological time it is. Iceland sits aside two plates, the American plate and the European Asian one. The mid-Atlantic ridge is where the two plates are expanding, like my stomach, dear, expanding. Which means that, yes, Iceland is getting bigger because the ridge runs down the middle of the island. Isn't it funny? Do you know, I'm sitting here reading this email and suddenly went through my head that I bought a cake yesterday. A fairly large, it was more, I don't know why, I bought a birthday cake yesterday. I bought two birthday cakes yesterday, actually. It was my friend's birthday. He comes to Belushi's every Monday night. For the karaoke. I do three karaokes now, all at Belushi's. Monday and Wednesday at Belushi's in Borough High Street between 10 and 2. And Sundays at Belushi's in Camden High Street. That's between 8 and 12 if you ever want to come along to any of those. Okay. And Monday it was Stephen's birthday, and he was 28, I think, and he had a good night, and I'm pleased. And I got him a little cake. It's only a small cake, you know, but I like to do these things for people. You know, why shouldn't their birthday be special? My father always made mine and my sister's birthday as special as he could. I think, and it, you know, it's such a shame. I don't know if it was the same. Perhaps you've got children or not, but when you, as a small child, it's just fantastic. You know, the cake comes and a little presents and people sing happy birthday. And I remember all this. The trouble is, as you get older and approach and go into your teenage years, I suppose from 14, 15, certainly 16, you become ungrateful. And the cake comes down and you're thinking, oh no, and it's just, and you're embarrassed. I wonder why that is. Really? I don't know. And I've said to you before, you know, when your parents die, certain things come back to hit you in the face that you have or haven't done while they were alive. And I think one of the things that hits me in the face is the fact that my dad and my mother tried so hard in my teenage years to carry on this birthday, this wonderful birthday experience that they tried to give us each year, and a cake would come and they would sing happy birthday, and I would just sit there in total embarrassment. But my God, what I'd give to have it again. You know, are you a parent, or are you someone older who did it, who was exactly the same as me? Was it great when you were young and the cake came and you were like 10 years old and oh fantastic, and as you become, you just got embarrassed by the whole thing? I wonder why. Why is that? Is it just me, or were you the same? Do let us know on an email. I'd love to know about that, okay? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Yes, some wonderful birthdays, really, that I had. Anyway, back to this. So that's what I did Monday. I got Steve a little cake, and he had a few of his friends round, and he had his a lovely girl who comes, a little girl she is, and she comes and does photographs and things like that. Filio, I think her name is Filio. She's a very good photographer. She's got this very expensive camera. The only thing is she gets a bit pissed in the pub sometimes. And I do worry about her going home with that camera. She says she has it in a bag and all that. But do you know what I mean? When a young girl, and she's only little, and I just worry. It's certainly certain parts of London that she's on the bus and she goes to, a little bit dodgy perhaps, going home with a lovely expensive camera in a bag like that when you're drunk. And you know, I do worry about people sometimes. But yes, so he had a nice birthday, and I sang him happy birthday, and so did everyone else in the pub. And yeah, he was quite merry as well on Monday night. Let's go back to this email. The mid-Atlantic ridge is where the two plates are expanding, which means that, yes, Iceland is getting bigger because the ridge runs down the middle of the island. The upwelling is the reason for all our volcanoes and earthquakes. The Earth's crust is very thin here, and hence we are sitting really on top of all this energy. For geologists out there, I know I skipped a lot of important information for now, but it would have only got in the way. Oh, thank God for that. I wouldn't have understood it anyway. Just tell us the basic parts, Robert. In short, we do not have to dig very deep before things get a bit tad on the warm side. Stick a pipe into the ground and up comes bloody hot water. You have a similar area in the UK, Bath. Why do you think it's called Bath? Yeah, well, they have spas, though, things. He says there are other spa towns in the UK, all that more or less work on the same system. My town of Acurea, the capital of Northern Iceland, makes use of this system. What they do is find these areas where this very hot water comes out of the ground and sink a pipe in. This is then fed into the towns and held in large storage tanks. Pipes run out from these storage tanks and into the houses, in just the same manner as cold water does. The hot water is then fed into the house and it heats via radiators. It's not a closed system as one might have in the UK. The water runs around the heating system and then out to the drain, which might explain this notion that Iceland heats its roads. Well, yes, but all we are doing is making use of the waste hot water from the ground. Some houses, and we are considering doing this also, take the hot water and run this water through pipes in the path leading up to our door and then feed it into the drains. These systems are very good, and when set up correctly, the water leaving the house has had most of its heat taken away to warm the house. In the centre of some towns, the shops do this to also keep the ice off the roads outside their stores, hence the heating of the roads. Please don't be concerned about this waste of water. It came from the ground, and it was via one method or another returned to the ground, unpolluted, I might add. Our carbon footprint is very low. We are blessed here in Iceland. For a country nearly the same size as England, and yet we have a population of just 300,000. Yes, about the same size as a town in the UK might have. I hope this has helped and not sent too many people to sleep. You could never... Oh, information leads to enlightenment. Dr. Carl says that. Dr. Carl says that. Take care, Chris. Some pictures for you and listeners. My cat, Mr. Weasley, Sir Robert of the dining table from the land of wit and tragic, with my 2 daughters getting ready for the ice hockey, and one picture taken close to my home. Please be kind. It was rather early in the morning, and so he sent in a picture of Mr. Weasley, one of his cats there, and Iceland at night. I've got loads of black. I only print them in black and white. And there's his 2 daughters that I have read this out, haven't I, Robert? I've just realised this because I thought your daughters were sons, because you can't really see their faces in the little masks. But actually, this print off I've done is a lot better than the other one. So I know, yeah, I have read that out. It doesn't matter. It was such a good email that I decided to read it out twice, Robert. Okay. Thank you very much to Stella, who sends us a little Happy New Year message. Happy New Year, Stella, to you as well, my darling. That's it from the show today, boys and girls. Yes. I've got to congratulate my nephew Gary, who has managed to lay a brand new floor in his kitchen. His wife is very pleased, except the fact, well, one of the things he had to do was remove the old lino. Now, to remove the old lino, he told me he had to heat up the lino to get the glue to release. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. He's got this heat gun and he puts it on the lino, and that heats the glue up, and then the lino can be pulled back. But his wife isn't too happy, Stacey, because apparently he's burnt the bottom of the carpet at the top of the stairs with this heat gun. So they got burnt carpet now. Never mind, Gary. Well done for trying. But the floor, he sent me a little picture of the floor. It looks rather marvellous, I must say. Anyway, that's it from the show today. Thank you very much for watching and listening as always. Do join in by email. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, or of course you can send Twitter as well, at Chris Reardon UK on the Twitter, at Chris Reardon UK. I'll see you on the next show. Have a good week. Bye-bye.